Do you have less than $5,000 in savings? Then listen to me carefully. You're not doing badly, but you're not safe either. Because if today you lost your job, your income, or faced an emergency, how close would you really be to hitting rock bottom? Most people think the key is earning more, but what I'm going to show you today is what the top 1% do with the money they already make. And the best part is that you can do it too, but only if you understand this before it's too late. The big deception. For years, we've been led to believe that if you work hard, pay your bills, and stay out of debt eventually, you'll be fine. But the reality is different. Most people work their entire lives, and when they reach 60, they still don't have financial peace of mind. Why? Because the system doesn't reward the hardest worker. It rewards the one who best understands how to use their money. Today, if you have less than $5,000 saved, it's not because you're not trying. It's because maybe you were never taught the real rules of the game. Did you know that more than 70% of older adults in Latin America depend financially on others just to survive? People who worked for decades and still couldn't build something of their own. So the big question is, are you walking down that same path without even realizing it? And if you are, what can you do to get out? That's exactly the purpose of this video. We're going to dismantle the model that's keeping you trapped and show you how the top 1% use their money in a completely different way. And most importantly, how you can apply that same system, even if you're just starting today. The answer is closer than you think. What the 1% do? Let's get straight to the point. The 1% didn't get rich by having a better salary or by working harder. They got rich because they learned to own things that make money, even when they're not working. Businesses, stocks, real estate, investments. Rare and valuable skills. It's not just about having money, it's about where they put it. And this isn't an opinion. It's a documented pattern. Studies from UBS and WealthX on millionaires worldwide reveal that 60% built their wealth by owning businesses. 20% created it through investments. 16% inherited their wealth, and only 3% are public figures like artists or athletes. And do you know what all these groups have in common? They all own assets. Things that generate income even when they're not present. They don't sell time, they build systems. Meanwhile, most people live chained to a paycheck. And if that paycheck stops, everything collapses. Sound familiar? So we come back to the central question. What do you own? Do you have something that makes you money without working more hours? Or are you completely dependent on getting paid every month? If you don't own assets, you're depending on the system. And the system isn't in a hurry to set you free. But here's the good news. You don't need to inherit a fortune or own $1 million business to start changing this. You just need a clear structure. A formula that allows you to use the little, or the lot, you already earn to start building something that truly belongs to you. What's the way out? By now you already know this. If you don't have assets, if all you do is work to get paid and then pay bills, you're trapped. But that doesn't mean you can't get out. The question is, how? How do you start if you barely have enough to cover the basics? How do you invest if you don't even have money left over? And how do you organize your finances without feeling like you're giving everything up? The answer lies in a simple but powerful structure. One that doesn't depend on your income level, but on how you allocate what you already have. It's called the 20 or 10-60-10 rule. It's not a magic formula nor an empty promise. It's a strategy used by hundreds of real people with real salaries who decided to stop surviving and start building. It works for you if you're an entrepreneur who struggles to separate personal and business finances. It works if you're a stay-at-home parent managing the household budget. It even works if you're already retired and want to understand how to protect what you have. Because in the end, it's not about earning more. It's about using better what you already have. Now that you know there is a way out, let's see what that path looks like. It all begins with the first step of this rule, financial growth, the 20%, financial growth. This is the heart of the entire strategy. Because if you don't make your money grow, you'll always depend on continuing to work. And if you're not there, the income stops. The first step of the 20-10-60-10 rule is to set aside 20% of everything that comes in, to make it grow. And before you say, "But I can't even make it to the end of the month," hear me out. It doesn't matter if you earn a lot or a little right now. What matters is starting to change the order of priorities. Most people do this. They get paid, pay bills, and spend whatever is left. But people who build wealth do the opposite. They invest first and then live on what's left. That 20% is meant to work for you. And yes, your money can work just like you do. Here's a real example. Lucas started investing $500 a month at age 20. Pedro started investing $750 a month. But 10 years later, at age 30, both invested in similar assets with an average annual return of 10%. The result? Lucas, investing less money, ended up with more than double what Pedro had by age 60. Why? Because time multiplied his money, not the amount. The lesson? You don't need a lot. You need to start as soon as possible. Now, where does that 20% get invested? First, in fixed income. If you're just starting and need security, then you can move on to ETFs, funds that invest in many companies at the same time. Automatic diversification, low risk. There are also real estate funds where you can receive rental income without buying properties. And if you already understand the market better, you can invest in solid long-term company stocks. You could even step into the world of cryptocurrencies or gold, but only if you educate yourself first. But there's one investment more powerful than all of those: investing in yourself. Learning a high-value skill can completely change your ability to earn income. Did you know that many stay-at-home moms learn video editing, social media management, or digital marketing, and from home earn more than at a traditional job? Did you know that a 65-year-old man can learn to run a digital business and make money from his laptop without ever leaving home? Money you put into improving your skills is money that not only comes back, but multiplies. That's true financial growth. The kind that starts before you have large amounts. And if you're thinking, but I still don't know where to start, relax. What matters is that you start with whatever you can. Most people wait until they have more to begin, but those who truly thrive start with what they have. The 10%, stability. If the 20% is for growth, this 10% is for protection, because growth means nothing if any unexpected event can wipe it all out. Picture this. You work for months, save, invest, and suddenly your fridge breaks, your car needs repairs, or you face a medical emergency. Now what? Most people, when faced with an emergency, end up using a credit card, going into debt, and undoing all the progress they made. This is where the second component of the rule comes in. Save 10% of your income for stability. This is your emergency fund, your safety cushion, and its purpose is clear: to prevent you from falling back every time something unexpected happens. How do you build it? Calculate your essential monthly expenses, food, housing, utilities, transportation, and multiply that by 3 to 5 months. That's your goal. Keep that money somewhere that meets 3 rules. It must be available in less than 24 hours. It must be risk-free, no stock market, crypto, or volatile assets. And if possible, it should at least give you a basic return so it doesn't lose value. Automate this saving. Have it set aside automatically every month, and if you ever use it, replace it, like a promise to yourself. Stability isn't noticeable when everything is going well, but when things get tough, it's the difference between falling into debt or standing strong. The 60% essentials. Now we get to the part that's most challenging for many: living on just 60% of what you earn. And you might think, that's impossible. But the truth is, many people live on 100% of their income and are still in debt. Do you know why? Because they've confused wants with needs. It's not about living poorly, it's about living with intention. That 60% is for covering the essentials: food, housing, transportation, basic utilities, healthcare. What you truly need to keep going. Nothing more. Everything else, the subscription you no longer use, the daily coffee, the premium phone plan, impulse spending, all of that, even if it seems small, adds up. And when you add up many small decisions, they can have a massive impact on your financial future. A stay-at-home parent can work magic with a budget if they know how to tell the difference between urgent and unnecessary. An entrepreneur can keep their business afloat, even in tough times, if they don't overload their lifestyle. And a retiree can protect what they've built if they avoid spending out of habit instead of need. You also have to watch out for a silent enemy: lifestyle inflation, the habit of spending more every time you earn more. It's a trap. Instead of thinking, I earn more, I can spend more, shift your mindset to, I earn more, now I can invest more. And if you manage to adjust your life to operate well on 60%, the rest of the plan starts working. Because what you save in this part, you multiply in the others. The 10% rewards. Now we come to the part almost no one talks about. But it might be the most important one for making this rule work in the long run. Because if it's all about saving, investing, and controlling, where's life? Where's the joy of enjoying what you're building? This 10% is for you. Not to grow, not to protect, not to survive. It's to enjoy. It's called the Joy Fund. And yes, it's an expense, but it's an expense with purpose. Because without pleasure, without reward, the financial journey turns into punishment. And when that happens, many people end up sabotaging everything. You can use this 10% for whatever you want: a night out, a gift, an experience, something that inspires you. The important thing is that you don't feel guilty, because you've already set aside everything else. You're on track. And this also creates a powerful emotional habit. You associate financial control with well-being, not with sacrifice. No matter your situation, you deserve small pleasures without destroying your finances. And when you do it with intention, motivation stays alive. This 10% doesn't pull you away from your goals. It gives you the strength to keep building them. So, what now? You now know the rule: 20% to grow, 10% to protect, 60% to live, and 10% to enjoy. And now the big question is, will you apply it, or was this just another video? Because understanding this is only the first step. What really makes the difference is what you do after you close this screen. You can keep going as you have until now, waiting to earn more, dreaming of a magical solution. Or you can start today with what you already have. Can't set aside the full 20%? Start with 5. Don't know what to invest in? Invest in learning. Feel like you can't save anything? Review your expenses again. There's always something to adjust. Financial freedom doesn't arrive all at once. It's built step by step with decisions that seem small, but over time change everything. And if you've made it this far, it means you're already one step ahead of 90% of people. Don't leave it on pause. You can change your financial story. And the time to start is today. If all of this got you thinking, wait until you see what's coming next. Because there's a part of the financial system that almost no one understands, and that's exactly where the rich play with an advantage. Do you want to know the blind spot everyone ignores, but that can change everything? Click on the next video. We didn't reveal it here for a reason.